Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a skincare review, and I absolutely love doing these kinds of videos because I feel like skincare is just so important in a beauty routine. So the 4 Skyn Iceland products I'm going to be talking about today were sent to me, so I'm always very grateful when companies choose little old me to try out their products, and I've had a lot of fun trying these for you guys. So I'm going to quickly go over what the brand is about first, and if you want to know anything or just check out their website, it'll be linked right down below for you guys. But they are definitely a more natural brand. They're 100% vegan and they don't test on animals. Their products are also free of petroleum, parabens, mineral oil, and sulfates. Plus, I just really like that the whole idea behind this line is to treat the damage caused by stress. And I feel like all of us girls can have some stressed out skin at times. Getting into the actual packaging though, this is where I want to start my review because I was very pleased when I opened the box on how these really looked. They're just very simple, very classic, and very clean looking. Plus, I feel like all of the packaging is super user-friendly. But I bet you guys are ready to get into the actual products because that's what you came to see, right? So the first one that I wanted to start out with is this Pure Cloud Cleanser, and you are going to get 5 US ounces of this stuff for $28. Now, if you're thinking that this looks tiny, it is because this is a little deluxe size sample they sent me. But yes, this is 1 ounce. So when you order the full size, if you order the full size, you will get 5 times this. So really with this, I feel like I was hoping it would be a little bit better, so I was a little bit disappointed, and I think out of a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this stuff about a 4. At first glance though, I really thought I'd like this stuff because it's super creamy and thick, and this stuff doesn't lather, so whenever I have a product like that, I feel like it's going to be pretty darn moisturizing, just those ones that don't lather, because I've had good experience with those in the past. But when I started using this, even during the first application or the first time, I just really didn't like how this felt on my skin, because I would use a pretty good amount, start dotting it all over my face and either working it in with my hands or my Clarisonic, but whenever I started working it in, it's almost like it disappeared. I wanted to also mention that it does come with this little muslin cloth that you can use with it. I didn't use this very much just because I felt like my Clarisonic or my hands pretty much did the same thing that did, but yeah, when I just started working it around, it was like it disappeared, so I really felt like I had to use a lot of this stuff. After rinsing this off though, my skin definitely looked clean, but it felt like the moisture was almost sitting on top rather than soaking into my skin, which was really frustrating. So then like 2 to 3 hours down the road after I washed my face, I felt like that coating wore off, and then I was left with that dry, tight feeling that I feel like everyone with dry skin hates. I definitely think I'm pretty sensitive to that dry, tight feeling now though, because I've been using my CeraVe hydrating cleanser so much for like the past 2 years, and that stuff never makes my skin feel like that. So I feel like I've been a little bit spoiled, and that may have made my skin feeling after using this stuff a little bit more annoying just because I'm not used to it. But all in all, I definitely think that there's better drugstore cleansers out there for people with dry skin. So this next moisturizer, I just feel bad saying this, but I think this might be the worst moisturizer I've ever used, and that's really unfortunate because I was really excited to try it. But this is the Icelandic Moisture with SPF 30, and the full size of this is 1.7 ounces, and it'll run you about $45. I'll be honest with you guys, I was really hoping to love this stuff because I love when a line features a moisturizer with SPF 30. I feel like SPF is so important for your face, especially in a daily moisturizer, and a lot of times they either don't have it or they only have about SPF 15, and I always try to go for 30. So with this, when I broke it out for the first time, like I said, I was so excited, but this stuff is so darn thick, it's almost impossible to use. Now don't get me wrong, I love a good heavy duty moisturizer. Like those are my best friends, especially in the winter time, but with this stuff, it was so thick, so heavy and sunscreeny that it left a white cast on my skin that was so hard to blend in. I mean, I was literally pulling and tugging on my skin to try to get this white cast blended in, and honestly that didn't even work because you have a very small window to work with this stuff. For me, it was no more than 30 seconds. I don't think I would start applying it and it would dry so fast that I'm like trying to get down to my neck and I wouldn't even make it because once this stuff dried, it wouldn't budge. So one part of me was like, well, maybe I need to use more because I need more product to work around. But then the other half of me was like, Lacey, there's absolutely no way you can use more of this stuff because you're gonna have even more of a white cast. So this stuff for me was incredibly hard to work with, and I honestly wouldn't recommend this stuff to anybody. I'm very sorry I'm saying that, but I have absolutely no idea how someone would use this. This next product I was kind of 50-50 about. out, and these are their glacial cleansing cloths, and you get 30 of these for $15. These days, I honestly feel like we're quite blessed with all of the versions of these kind of things we have in the drugstore these days because there's so many great ones. A lot of us love the simple ones, but I've also been using the Walmart Equate brand, and I've been really pleased with those as well. But with these, they're only available online, so I think when I first got these, I was thinking these better be life-changing because if not, I don't see myself ordering these regularly online. The good thing about these was that they were very saturated with product, but these had one big downfall, and it all has to do with the type of cloth. The cloth itself felt so thin, not super soft. It almost felt slightly papery, which just sounds really bad. And I think because we have so many other drugstore versions that are really soft and pillowy, I was just not very impressed with these. So even though these are a standard sized cloth, I felt like because they were so thin and they just didn't have a lot of volume to them, I really felt like I couldn't get all of my makeup off with just one. And I hate the idea of having to use more than one when it comes to these products. The formula was okay. It actually removed my eye makeup pretty darn well, but I do wear non-waterproof eye makeup on a daily basis, and these didn't irritate my eyes. The one weird thing though, and I never have a problem with this with like my drugstore options, because with my drugstore options, I feel like I can remove my face makeup easily, but then my eye makeup is kind of a little bit more difficult. But with these, it was totally flip-flopped. I felt like I had a lot of trouble removing my foundation with these because they were so thin and lacked really any texture. So all in all, these were not life-changing, unfortunately. So now I'm happy to report that I saved the best for last. So last up is their new Icelandic Relief Eye Cream. The full size of this is $45 for 0.49 ounces, and this is something that I was very unsure about in the beginning, but I've actually really grown to like it. When I first opened this stuff up, I was so taken back by the texture because it looks really fairly creamy and fairly normal as far as like a texture of an eye cream goes, but this stuff is almost gummy and kind of separated. I don't think it's because I got a bad batch or anything. I honestly just think that this is the texture of this stuff, and honestly it doesn't make a difference or matter at all when you actually get some out and start rubbing it between your fingers because it all melds together and gets really, really nice and kind of that typical texture that you expect. But when I was going into this for the first time, it almost bounces when you touch it, and then when you actually touch it, you don't pick up a whole lot of product. You have to really go in there and make sure you're like scraping some out. It's so strange. So really that's not a deal breaker, it's just something I'm not really used to. But regarding the texture, the one thing that bothers me a little bit is that it's a little bit hard to get out of the jar, and I have to be really conscious of it and kind of work a little bit harder than I'm used to. Like some of the eye creams are in a pump, which are super easy. Some are just easy enough where you can dab your finger on the top and get out some product. So with this, you definitely have to be a little bit more mindful of it, but I think that's just me being really, really picky. Like I said though, when you do get this out and start working it between your fingers, it really turns into a really nice consistency. It's almost that perfect medium between being too thin and too thick, and I think going on, this stuff absorbs super, super well, and it's really, really great in the moisture department. I tend to have naturally just a little bit drier of an eye area, and I feel like at times I can struggle with that, especially in the winter, but for right now, with my more normal skin that's still slightly on the drier side, I feel like this is doing a great job. The only thing I just have to say with this stuff, I mean, this stuff is $45, and I just still feel like there's other alternatives out there, other drugstore options that are still really, really good. But granted, I did enjoy using this stuff, and I think out of all four, this is the one that I've kept up with the most. So that's been my full review of these 4 Skyn Iceland products, and I want to know if you guys have ever tried anything from this brand, if you've heard about it. I would love to hear your thoughts or any product suggestions down below. Please make sure to also check the description box because I'll have every single one of these products listed out and direct linked and everything so you guys can find them very easily. I also have all of my social media stuff and all of the makeup that I'm wearing today listed down there too. But really quick before you go, please make sure to hit that like button to give this a huge thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it or found it helpful. I always appreciate when you guys do that. But yeah, I think that's all for today, so have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!